Imagine a country without a government. Well, welcome to Nepal. The tiny Himalayan nation did have a prime minister to lead its people, a barely extended life of a parliament, and a working constitution until June 2010, when Prime Minister Madhav Kumar Nepal bowed to Maoist pressure and agreed to resign. With the need to fill the post left vacant by Madhav Kumar Nepal, the three big political parties, UCP and Maoist, the Nepali Congress and UML, agreed on holding immediate elections. Significantly, UML chairman Jhalanath Kunal, who was his party's candidate for the election, decided to withdraw from the race to pave way for a consensus. However, neither of the candidates, Nepali Congress leader Ramchandra Paudel or Maoist vice chairman Pushp Kamal Dahal, secured the rover's backing from the rival party necessary to win a majority, causing the parliament to delay yet another election and prolonging the leadership vacuum in the already troubled nation. In what can be termed as a record of sorts, even after 18 rounds of voting in parliament, Nepali politicians failed to elect a new leader. Eventually, even Maoist candidate Prachanda withdrew from the race, leaving Nepali Congress leader Ramchandra Paudel as the sole contender for the top post. But even then, the biggest surprise came when Paudel too failed to muster even a simple majority. The problem with Nepal's current state of political deadlock is simple: disagreement among mullish politicians over power sharing. After the general elections 2 years ago, the Maoist rebels who had signed a peace agreement with the government in 2006 won the popular majority, giving them the mandate to lead the new government. But disagreement over the controversial sacking of the army chief led to the resignation of Maoist chairman Pushp Kamal Dahal, who had served as the prime minister for 8 months.
After the elections, thought that they could act unilaterally, that that they were the only actors around, and they could take actions without taking the other parties into confidence. The other parties got scared. The other parties have been very, very skeptical of the Maoists.
We are committed to what's written in the agreement. We're committed to what's written in the peace accord. We are committed to what's written in the interim constitution. But we would not kowtow to Maoist and say, well, do it whatever you like to do.
Paudel, the lone prime ministerial candidate, now faces mounting pressure to withdraw his nomination, something that will enable the parties to restart the process to form a national consensus government, possibly led by the Maoists. Yet Paudel and his party have been unyielding in their stance. Unless concrete deals can be reached with the Maoists, a government led by the former rebels would be completely unacceptable. Meanwhile, the tenure of the United Nations mission in Nepal, entrusted with the job of supervising the integration of thousands of armed Maoist cadres with the National Army, ends at the very start of the new year. This was an extended term for the UN body. The government and the Maoists, in a last-minute deal, had decided to extend the mission's mandate by 4 months, the 7th such extension in 3 years. The mission's extension was, of course, key for the country. It must either develop a clear plan to integrate former Maoist combatants into the army or rehabilitate them by providing financial packages. Leading political parties, especially the Nepali Congress, have expressed deep concern over the prolonged stay of thousands of unorganized, government-salaried rebels inside closed cantonments.
The Maoists thought earlier that they should keep the PLA intact as a reserve backup force which they can use to bargain and increase their stakes in Kathmandu. The other parties, though they signed on the commitment, I don't think thought it through, and now are scared that if they integrate the Maoist combatants, it will help the Maoists take over the Nepal army.
But rehabilitation of Maoist combatants is just half the problem. The country is still faced with the grave consequence of a complete economic collapse. Legislative impediments caused by failure to elect a new government have brought the process of passing a new budget to a complete standstill. Even if Nepal succeeds in electing a new Prime Minister tomorrow, he will have his hands full. While it will remain a huge challenge to rally a country in serious political deadlock. But more importantly, the political establishment will have an even greater task at hand to promulgate a new constitution, an undertaking that seems near impossible with less than 8 months in hand. Hopefully, the new year will bring in a new air for consensus, required badly for breaking the deadlock. Surely, the citizens of this tiny nation deserve much better from their new democratic system. Because it was they who achieved it through a difficult and often bloody battle against monarchy.